Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, Revelation chapter 18. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, email me at godsohman@gmail.com. Revelations 18, starting with verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted in his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the holds of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So if you remember in chapter 17, these demonic angels or demons or whatever you want to call them came down, and they basically made deals with the kings of the earth. They basically did all these signs and wonders to these kings of the earth to get them to join their group to fight against the Christians. And so now Babylon the Great, which is I believe modern day Iran right now, it's either Iran or Iraq, I can't remember off the top of my head, that's modern day Babylon. And so this great city has now fallen and been a place for devils and demons and evil spirits. And this is just a picture of what it could possibly look like. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. You also remember that they're given a mark of the beast, and you can't buy or sell without this mark. So the merchants are basically charging whatever they want because the only way you can buy or sell is through them. Now they're getting quite rich because you have to go through them to buy or sell. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye not be partakers of her sins, and ye receiveth not of her plagues. So even after all this wrath is happening, God's still telling people, stay away from this person because she's going to basically ruin your life. And you can see that Babylon is fallen here, and there's all kind of chaos. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she has filled to her double. So this person, this great whore of the Bible, is basically bamboozling or lying or manipulating all these people. And so God or an angel or somebody from heaven saying, this person is going to get double what she gave to you. How much has she glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow given to her. For she say unto her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So saying that this great whore of the Bible basically just weaseled her way into being a queen, and she was never married, so there was no king, it was just her. Therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. So it's saying in one day all these bad things are going to happen to her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So all these kings are basically delighted in all these great things that this great whore of the Bible has given her, and they've basically lived high on the hog, and they've done whatever they wanted to, and now she's going to get attacked. These kings of the earth are going to pretty much run away because they don't want to be partakers of the wrath that she's about to get. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. So in 1 hour all these bad things are going to happen to her. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So because there's going to be no more partying here on earth, God's basically cleaning house right now. So the mark's going to be pointless here pretty soon, and so nobody's going to buy these goods of these merchants. And the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and thine wood, and thy manner vessels of ivory, and all manners vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oils, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. So all these things they used to sell, they could no longer sell anymore. And the fruit that thou shalt lust after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and good godly are departed from thee, and they shall find them no more at all. So these merchants, they were living high on the hog, and now they're basically utterly broken and destroyed and broke. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city! It was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls. And for 1 hour so great riches is come into naught. And every shipmaster, and all thy company in ships, and sailors, and as many trade by sea, stood far off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like this unto this great city? And so all these bad things are going to happen to the city of Babylon, because the whore of the Bible came in there, and she made deals with kings, and she made their life amazing. Why would you want to not have an amazing life? It was all a big myth, all a big disguise. And now it's time for her judgment. And so Babylon as a whole is getting destroyed. And all these people that were living high on the hog and enjoying life are saying, whoa, we don't want to be a part of this. And so they leave her, they stand afar off, and they literally watch the city burn. And it's a sad thing. And now they wonder, we've had all these amazing things. What do we do now? Where do we go from here? And they cast dust on their heads, and they cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she has been made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged you on her. And everybody that's a Christian will say, God, why are you letting all these bad things happen? And God's pretty much telling us, one day I'm going to avenge you. One day I'm going to basically make these people suffer. One day you're going to get your justice, but not today. And now in the Bible it says God's avenging you because of what they did. See, all these people on earth are going to attack Christians before the tribulation. They're going to attack Christians before the rapture. And we're going to say, God, why? There's a verse in Luke, like I've said before, it said, will God find favor on the earth when he returns? All these people that are Christians are going to just be tormented and hurt, and it's going to be horrible. And we're going to beg God, why? Well, in this point, in this verse, it says God has avenged you for her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So it's almost saying that this great city Babylon that was there, Nebuchadnezzar of the Bible, he was the ruler of Babylon. It is no longer going to be a great city. That's like us here in America being told New York's no longer going to be a city. Los Angeles is no longer going to be a city. You've seen these things your whole entire life, these massive, huge things, and then one day it just disappears and it's gone. It's unheard of, but this is what's going on in Babylon. It is no longer going to be anything at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more in all of thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more in all of thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more in all of thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more in all of thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for now thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So, you have this thing saying, it's always been done this way. We've always worked here. We've always sung songs here. We've always done everything here. and now it's no more. It's gone. You can't even think about that. I mean, as an American, you can't think that there'll be no more New York. There'll be no more Los Angeles. There'll be no more Texas or Florida. For all of our life, we've seen these things. There'll be no more America. I mean, can you imagine just saying, well, no more America? It'd be hard to believe that. Or looking up in the sky and say, well, the moon is no more, the sun is no more. It's unheard of. It's something you can't even imagine. And this is what's going to happen. People can't even fathom this could ever happen. And that's what's going on. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints, and all that were slain upon the earth. So this great whore of the Bible, the beasts, are responsible for all these atrocities that have happened to Christians. And now God gives them revenge. God now says, Christians, here's your revenge. I'm avenging you for all the blood that's been shed of the prophets and the saints. So think about that. But guys, thanks for watching my video. I appreciate you guys watching it. I'm going to have more coming out really soon. There's going to be some links on the screen, and I want you guys to check them out. I've got some Revelation links and end time links and a video you guys can watch. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Could you imagine some place in your mind that has always been there, and all of a sudden one day it just goes poof? How would you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.